Howdy everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today in this video, last night I was going through building out new watch lists in MotoWave, and I came across anomalies which probably will scare off a lot of cryptocurrency traders or people from cryptocurrency. I'm using the coin compare data feed that you can use in MotoWave. I've gone through, there's over probably 90 or even 100 pairs to work from. What I did was I went through all the pairs, and I want to show you some of the extreme examples on when certain pairs are not really tradable. This is one such pair, Steam slash BTC. This is a 15-minute view. You can see these extreme wicks. They're just makes it really not tradable. Where there's no real stability in the price at 15-minute, or in my case, I'm going to be using quite a bit of 4-hour and daily analysis as well after some further research. But you can see here, even the 4 hours, not too bad, but there's still some concern there when you start to go intraday. So that's Steam in Bitcoin. This one as well is the same. This one I think is more about manipulation. When you look at this one called AGI BTC, you can see here that the moves are very similar on just very similar moves. That's all I can say in terms of the magnitude and the size of the bars. It's a 15-minute, 4-hour again. This is not a tradable pair to trade at all. I think if you put a position on, could a very high probability it would fall through. The price would fall through the floor of your position that you put in. So something I wouldn't recommend. There are these are the 34 pairs that I've come up with. A lot of them are from different exchanges. As I said, I've trimmed it down about 60. To me, not part of this watch list or what's defined as a watch list in MotoWave, but they're much more stable to look at. So, example, Litecoin, and Bitcoin, you'll see how the extremes don't seem to be so bad, and I think there's just better opportunities here with these pairs. So I just trimmed it down to about a 30 or so. Now let's talk about the watch list here. So as I said, we've got 34 pairs here from different exchanges as well. This is just what I would think is a crossover of what's out there in the pairs. And you can see here, this type of watch list is similar to what I've set up in my Python code. So you can see there's a clear bloodbath right now in the markets. One question I ask myself, what is the time frame on this percent change? I'm still trying to find an answer for it. But you can see here there's not much opportunity out there right now with these moves. The only one is obviously Tron in US dollar up 3.3, and Tron at USD. Or sorry, Waves at USD, I believe. Let me just see here. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, so it's Waves in US dollar and Tron in US dollar. Those are the best moving. Couple of more things I've set up here. I've been experimenting quite a bit. When you do a scan now, I've built out using harmonics for that particular watch list, so I can start scanning it. A couple of big advantages here. So it's going to do one of 34. There's a couple of patterns I'm seeing out of this, doing this type of test, again using MotoWave here. So what was highly strongly suggested is when you are using harmonics, to not go lower than 4 hours, to use 4-hour or daily data. And I've kind of played around quite a bit with it. And as you can see here, we're getting some excellent scores here, which I'll show you once it's finished. Okay, so it's complete. Let me just put those together. So here we are. So we have a couple of excellent ratings on the 4 hour. The Tron's not in there, but I was hoping to see that. But if you look at Tron USD T as an example, if I was just to follow this logic here, let me see here. How do I get the chart? Okay, so we have our harmonics. So to me, to be honest, when it comes to harmonics, I don't really care about the type of harmonic. Uh, let me see here. I think, oh, I know what I gotta do. Hang on here. Gotta change the format of the chart here. So we want maybe something like that. Get more comfortable with motive wave as well. So we want this layout. Okay, so there we go. That's what I want. So in here, what you'll find for these pairs is, oh, okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to rescan this. Okay, so same process as before. So we'll sort this by, but it's pretty fast. Okay, so we have a couple of excellent ratings, right? So here, if I was to show you, this is now Ethereum Classic in US dollar. This is a typical harmonic. I'm still trying to get used to, let's put this at a 1 day. This might be better. Okay, so you can see here in this harmonic, regardless of the harmonic, what we're trying to do is we're setting our price here to move up to point D on the harmonic, and that's the expected move. A lot of these moves here between X, D, and D, X and A, B, C, they're all Fibonacci distances. So there's some quote unquote science to it. So these are the typical price moves that are expected. So here, but you can see over since September till now December that we've moved down quite a bit from 647 down to here. So that's a 2-3 month move. So if they're predicting that this is to move back up to here at 687 or 647, that might be a 3 month move historically, or it really depends on the move of Bitcoin. So here with our excellent scores here, we have EOS is another one. This one, again, they're expecting this to be moved, so that's probably a short opportunity if you were to short and have the ability to short in crypto. Litecoin, here again, there's these expectation target over December 12th to get up to this point at the price with the Litecoin against US dollar at 80.48, 84.59. So that's what's expected there on Litecoin. Ethereum and Bitcoin, again, there's expected to actually drop as well. So we'll leave with that. This one is an interesting one, and I kind of believe this one where BNB Ethereum will move up as well. And again, keep your eyes on these wicks here. They're not as extreme. So these are more believable price moves and more tradable. So again, if they think that BNB and Ethereum will move up to 0.1167 again over the next few days, looks like December 3rd is the target. And again, here we have a Cardano drop here. I'm not interested in drops, but here's another one, XRM Monero. Sorry, XMR in Bitcoin. So that is going to move up. Now, I do have issues with Monero, even though I like the concept of the coin itself. Just give me a second here. This one, you'll just see the volatility. It's just pretty crazy. Could it move up here? Maybe. But that's definitely a short-term trade as well. So that's all fine and good for these particular pairs. So a couple of things I also wanted to highlight here. These are the tradable pairs. So if I go back over to the watch list here, right here, and check out the best performing pairs. So waves in US dollar, QTUM in US dollar, and NEO in US dollar right now is the best performers. So if I was to open a new chart here, now that kind of chart I don't like. I just don't like it. And that's a 15-minute move, 1 hour, and 4 hour. I mean, how do you trade that? That's just, to be honest, this is what we do. We just get rid of it. I don't like these kind of pairs. Those are too extreme. So that's another. So we're now down to 33. This one I question as well because you look at these might be manipulated for all I know. That's a 4 hour move. This one's a little more natural. I'll forgive this one on the 4 hour and 1 hour here. This one seems to be kind of manipulated. So can you trust this particular pair? So yeah, let me try to make an attempt here. What I want to show you here, but this one I'm not a fan of this chart. So if I go into and do my usual, what I've been playing with for the last couple of weeks is the Bollinger bandwidth. So we'll move this to a 4 hour. So we'll leave this at period 20, standard deviation of 2, and then we'll add in the RSI, and we'll see how this performs. These are the sort of things I test for. So here we go. So right now, when you look at, let's do the 4 hour. Excuse me. Here, this is why I like these set of indicators here, because you can see here this BBW, the BB width is really low, and then it broke through the RSI, and you can see that move up. So that's why I like these patterns. And right here, you can see people are just piling in because they miss out on this move. But when you look at this chart here, you can clearly see that we are able to predict this move. Something's about to happen, and the BB width is just non-existent, really. So that's why I like that move. And these are the sort of patterns I'm seeing time and time again. Let me just do another one here. So that's tier. So let's do tier Tron and US dollar here. So this one, is it moving it? Looks like it's not moving, but I'll still take a look at this guy. So again, here we go. Just don't like this Tron. It's just, you can see well, it could have some potential here, where the RSI broke through here, and the price did go up a little bit, but right here as well. But this is a pair I'm just kind of questioning if I should just remove it. Plus Tron as well. We just so we got some new ones here. So we have two new ones. We have QTUM and USD, NEO, and LSK BTC. This one I question myself. Because you just see these crazy moves. I mean, that's a 15-minute and a 4 hour. This one is doable on a 4 hour chart, but it's these little guys right here that make me wonder. This right here, with this kind of pattern right here, we have the BBW very low. It's been hovering at the RSI of 50, which is what you want, and it could this break out? I don't know, but here it did it, but again, it doesn't work because the BBW is just historically But here it worked with the RSI. Sorry, the LS, the BBW is quite low, and the RSI is broken through 50. So that's one of the reasons why I'll keep this guy on the list. Let's check out another one. Let's try NEO and US dollar. Okay, so here we have the same idea, but you can see, right? Yep, this is what happens. So right here, as soon as it just breaks through that RSI, it takes off. And usually, what I would probably do is either, in this case, entry here, hang on to the trade, but because the RSI drops back at 50, it probably would dump the trade, but it will not take the position all the way up here. But typically, a good exit strategy would probably be to dump the trade as it or crosses the 70 on the RSI. So that's a potential there. So that's quite the interesting concept there. Lastly, let's try one more. Did I look at QTOM? Oh. So QTOM here, you can see right about here. No, see, this will break down. This will break down on the 4 hour. Maybe here a little bit, but it's not a very good trade, a very good pair, to be honest. But let's do something a little more stable, like Bitcoin and US dollar. Looks like this percent change is quite frequent because it's just up. This is a 0.9 like a minute ago, so I'm not sure. And it might also depend upon the exchange as well on the price check there. So here with Bitcoin Cash and US dollar, right here you could see we have predictable. It did move up, and our exit was just perfect. So this is a perfect condition that we look for on the RSI at 50, the BBW at the historical low, and it hits that 70, boom, and it just drops off. Again, here another good trade. Just see here as an example. Okay, so right here, this is not a good trade because it's above the 50. But once it's still relatively low and it breaks through that 50, you can see it catches this one big bar move. This will not be caught at all because it's already people have they piled in. So that is a 15-minute chart, 4-hour chart. So right here, see, we're just waiting for it to build. Here, yeah, the 50 verifies on the RSI, verifies, confirms short or a long if you can do either or. So that's why I like this combination of a very simple, and it can be predictable. It does break down quite a bit actually. So lesson be told, these two I question. They're not stable. Not a big fan of either of these pairs. But the bigger pairs is what I'm watching. But you do get the odd one like this LSK BTC, which can do okay. But that's what I wanted to show overall, and just want to give you an idea of the patterns I'm looking for, and then be able to put an order in, build a little strategy around this, and then put orders into the Redis as I've shown last week, and using Redis coming out of the Motive Wave, because they don't execute trades or push orders out with Motive Wave for crypto, but you could probably generate signals, and a combination of signals to build strategy or study around that and push that into your Redis and then have a Python listener at the other end for those orders. So it is possible to do this, but let's try it out over the next couple of days and see what we can build out with Motorwave doing live trading in Binance for crypto. On that, we shall talk to you later. Have a good day.